Even in interesting times where the blame game has become the one card that's being used in everything, and accountability leaves the door. It's easy to blame the other person because, one finger you don't see pointing back at you. You only see one, you don't see the three pointing back at you. And we live in times whereby to tell the truth is frowned upon and to accept lies, deceit, and propaganda is celebrated. We are living in times whereby holding someone accountable to their words and their action could lead to your own offing. And it's quite sad because at the end of the day, the truth will last, the lies will fade away, and the lies will always come and expose themselves. Because imagine in a place whereby many people are lying, at some point, someone will want to bring the biggest lie. What's going to happen? The other lies will be like, no, my lie was better. Before you know it, they are busy fighting, whether it's physical, whichever way you look at it. Eventually, something is exposed. People start wondering why is so much commotion in a particular place. Then people realize, hold up, it is all about a particular lie. How do we get to understand some of these scandals? Most of these scandals, we get to see them is because someone was benefiting. Most of them, most of the time, we are talking about regime type of scandals. Someone was benefiting, but because they didn't get their part of the cake as they agreed upon, maybe they were to be given X amount of money, X amount of profit, X amount of shares, X amount of whatever it may be, because they didn't get it, they'll be the first person to say this person did, but forget they were still in the same bed doing whatever they needed to do to eat from the innocent people who have given away the little they have. If you look at our relationships, always easy to play the blame game, but we need to ask ourselves, when you got into that relationship, did you take your time to know the person, or did you jump in because you had a moment, you had a feeling, you had a thought, you had a dream, someone told you? Did you take time and understand the person on the other end? Who are they? What's their background? What's their character? What are their belief system? Did you take time to understand if you fit in with the person? Were you scared of the biological clock? Were you scared of what the community will tell you? Were you scared about your religion? Were you scared because of loneliness? Were you scared because of social media pressure? And you ended up accepting someone, created an illusion of a perfection that really never existed, and put it on this individual. And this individual didn't even make any effort to prove that they will be better. Ended up taking a toxic person, and eventually now you're suffering. Or even if you get lucky and get out of that part of suffering, you still have scars and wounds that never was supposed to be. Is it possible at some point they might have let your guard down and accepted someone you should never have accepted, despite all the warning flags that were given? Because sometimes it's easy to blame the other person, becomes harder sometimes to blame ourselves. I take fault of the lives that I lived and the choices and the relationships I got in that one not successful. Not all of them I can claim that it was the other person. Some I take total accountability. Whether it is I was scared of the biological clock, whether it is I was scared because of this or that, I take full accountability of my role in the falling of some of the life I lived or choices I made in my life. I'm not proud of them, but I did it and it's done. The question is, do I live in the past and cry over it, or do I man up and say, well, it's done, I learn, I pick, I move? Because in this life you live, we are not perfect. As you meet people from different cultures and different nations, you come and realize we're not perfect. We have our many imperfections. What you think is gold to you, to another person, that's a part of their lifestyle. What you take with so much, what you look at a luxury to you, you might look at a particular car and say this is their luxury. To another person, that's just a taxi for them. You are both humans, but you're in different cultures, different economic dynamics. So whatever you think is gold for you, to another person, that they live on gold, eat on gold, drink on gold, everything is golden around their life, and it's pure gold. But for you, gold to you is that moment. Sometimes I love when people treat each other very badly in the context of you think you're better than the other person, but you forget you're the same. You see someone who's going to look down on their family or friends or community because they bought a car, and so that's the money you buy the car from a yard. So by the time you bought the car from a yard, that means someone else was the original driver. That original driver was driven. So unless you got a car from um unless you got the car from a showroom, I mean, if it wasn't from the showroom, Your car was driven by another person, and because of the country to which this car was imported from, with the laws of combustion laws, climate change laws, it was taken to your country. And let's look, like example, in our country, we take a lot of countries that are rejects from other countries, and someone will be driving that car that has been rejected or been used by 3 or 4 people, and then they come and they want to splash water all around and treat you like you're nothing, but they forget one thing: that car was once driven by another person. The first, but as long as you never got it from the showroom, be humble enough and hash it. Just be humble enough and accept the first one. There are others before you. And in this life that we live, humility is very important. Don't think you're the first one. There were others before you. Don't think you're the second one. There were others, and there will be others after you. Excuses, excuses, excuses never help us. It makes us always stay cold in one area. It's important to be accountable. It doesn't hurt to accept your flaws. It doesn't hurt to accept that you're not perfect. It doesn't hurt to accept that you don't know. The question is, are you mature and humble enough to accept, I don't know and I want to learn? I don't know and I need to learn and grow. And now once you learn, what do you do with that information? Because there are many people who have information. What do they do with it? Instead of it transforming them, it just becomes information overload, and it doesn't help them with anything. But there are the people who take that information, transform, and when they transform, they affect the communities and those around them, and eventually those around them are able to grow. So it takes a step. Being accountable is not a question of if, it's a question of it must happen. Because if we don't hold anyone or systems accountable, we are then compliant to every choice and decision they make. If we don't push back in what we see is wrong, we are literally telling them, come, do this to us. If you're seeing your neighbor being robbed and you can see, and you're in a place of helping, you don't want to physically engage, there you can make a call to the security agencies, you can alert and notify your other neighbors, and you can literally see. If you choose to ignore that, what's going to happen? The same robbers who robbed your neighbor will think, hold up, we robbed this guy broad daylight, nobody stopped them, hold up, I guess we can do this to the next one. So they will do to the next one. Then they say, hold up, we can move to the next one. And then hold up, they can move to the next one. Is this not to see when you see how sometimes the issues of multiculturalism being an issue in one country, where one country will move to a new country and disrespect the culture of that new country which has hosted them, and treat people of that country bad, yet they are being hosted by that country. And sadly, most people who are of the host country don't push back and say, yo, no, you are from where you are, maybe in your culture, in your country, or in your nation, it was allowed, but here we do things differently. And so when the host country does not step up and say, hold up, respect the rules of engagement in my country, respect in my religion, respect our culture, respect our women, our children, eventually, if there's no pushback, the people who have come, who are not of the host country, will start imposing their own laws, cultures, and eventually, if they even get a chance to get politically strong, the host country will end up becoming our own refugee in their own nation. Those are facts. But if there are no proper ways to handle everything, respectfully, of course, then we have an issue. Then who becomes accountable? Who becomes accountable? Exclusive of the country and their loose policies, it becomes the citizens who are hosting those who have come to their country. If the citizens themselves are compliant in that they allow some things to happen, they do not protect, then you're telling the people from this country who've just come that they can get away with anything. And if the laws are not pushed back by the host country, then eventually those other people will feel, okay, I am entitled. It's like someone coming to your house and they are telling you where to place things. Let's say it's not from point of correction, it's from point of command. So you like to put your cup, you like a particular mug, you like a particular plate, you like a particular seat, and someone tells you, get out of this one, you fit in that corner, and you say, I don't want to argue, let me go and sit in that corner. The moment you sit in that corner, they realize, hold up, they were just too good to me, I have an opportunity. They move up to the next one. How many relatives are invited into homes? These are relatives cousins, name them, you invite them into your home respectfully, and then they start harassing your children, they start harassing your spouse, they start imposing ideologies and laws and policies in your own house, yet they were hosted. And because the family is like, I don't want to argue, oh, they're my people, nonsense. Someone comes to your house, you have every right to tell them, if you do not live by the rules of my house, get the hell out. So the moment you step up, you're holding account, you become accountable. But the moment you let it slide, then you're accountable to every action done against your people. And you know what you end up doing? Those people become abusers. So the question is, will you be silent, or will you be the one to step and say, enough is enough? It's a choice.